Hello everyone. Today we will be looking at the Unifi Dream Machine Pro Max. I believe this guy came out this year. It's pretty much a beefier version of the Dream Machine Pro. I think it's got a better processor, more memory, could host more clients, and this one's pretty much for, I think, small to medium-sized businesses. But I'm just going to deploy this in my home because right now I have AT&T fiber, but I'm using their out of the box a fiber solution which has Wi-Fi, router, and switching all built in. And I kind of want to get something a little bit more secure and a little bit more options, such as segregating my network to different VLANs and configuring firewall rules. So that's why I picked up this guy here. So I'm really excited to overhaul my whole network. So in this video, I'm just gonna unbox it. We'll go through some of the quick settings, the setup process on the UI interface, and then we'll go from there. This is the retail packaging, so really simple. I have a few Unified products, and their boxings are always something like this, where it's not too fancy. It's got the Unified logo on top, got the authenticity logo here, and just says Dream Machine Pro Max. And to open it, I believe there's a little tab here that we just pretty much rip open, which I'm gonna do right now. So boom, open, and looks like there's a QR code for installation guide on the top there. And we got a box here. Looks like we're going to get, let's see. So it looks like it comes with a power cord, a pretty nice one too. Looks like it's got braided, or yeah, it's not like your conventional power cord. And I think this is your networking ear rack, which I do have a rack. This is a hardware kit, and this is just empty space below. So they do supply you with the ears and the rack, which I will be mounting onto my little network rack here in my closet. And then this is the machine here. Once we pull it out, that's everything out of the box. We'll toss that aside there. And upon looking at this, let's take this out here and this out here. And the unit's actually fairly heavy. Yeah, it's actually pretty heavy. So let's where's that? So I don't wanna drop it. So let's open it here. So it's fully wrapped in this soft material. Then when you're opening it, I believe this is made out of steel and aluminum. So yeah, it is actually quite heavy. And here is the actual router here. So I'm gonna switch over since it's out of the box now. I think it could fit on my little unboxing table. So let me switch over there right now. All right, now that we're situated at this table here, so yeah, so this is the unit itself here. So this unit weighs about 10 pounds, 10.4 pounds to be exact. And it's about 17, the dimension is about 17 by 1 by 11. So it could fit on, it's built to be on a network rack, obviously, and it's made out of aluminum CNC and steel. So looking at the front of it, you get this 1.3-inch touchscreen. You get two 3.5-inch NVR hard drive bay. So you got two of those. I think the old one, the previous version, only has one. And then looking over here, you got 8 gigabit RJ45 LAN ports, and you get one, I believe this is a 2.5 gigabit WAN port, and then you get two SFP plus ports. I believe one of them's for LAN and one of them's for WAN, I believe. I think the top one's for WAN and the bottom one's for LAN, and you got a little reset button here. So yeah, so it's definitely a pretty beefy unit. It's well built, and on the back here, so so this is a port where you would connect the UPS if you decide to get their UPS power solution. I believe it only works with their guys here. So you get their UPS connect, you would connect here for backup battery. And then over here is the plug. So I believe this, oh, that would lock it there. So let's unlock it. So it's got a little latch where you can actually lock and unlock the plug, which is pretty cool. See? So that's cool to have so you don't accidentally unplug it, and then you would plug in your power there. So I'm just gonna put that back here. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So yeah, so this guy is supposed to have a better computing power and memory from the Dream Machine Pro. It's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to do like 2 times the amount. It's supposed to be able to support 2 times the amount of unified devices and client capacity from its predecessor. It could do 5 gigabits per second routing with IDS IPS, and it is a quad core ARM Cortex A57 at running at 2 gigahertz. It's got 8 gigabytes of DDR4 memory, 32 gigabytes of EMC, and it also has a built-in 128 gigabyte SSD for NVR detection recording, which is pretty cool. So you get 128 gigabytes built in on top of the hard drive caddy here. So that's pretty much the unboxing part of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this guy on my network rack. And then let's go ahead and go through the initial setup process on setting this guy up and see what the setup process is once you boot this machine up. You know what? Before I get this on the rack, let's put on the rack mount ears from this hardware kit. So let's take a little bit deeper dive on it. So this plug here, it is a special plug. So you could probably use a standard plug, but it won't have this locking mechanism that they have. This is specifically made for their unit so that you can lock it. But if you look in the back here, you could probably just use a standard plug here, but you'll definitely want to use the one that comes with theirs if you want to use this special locking mechanism. So I'll leave that open, and then looking here, so it looks like you do get the 2 rack ears. So it looks like they're made of steel. There's actually a little manual down here too, but I usually don't read manuals. I mean, I probably should, but I don't. And this one here, so these are the accessories that it comes with. So it looks like you get 4 rack nuts, 4 rack screws, and you get the rubber feet if you decide not to use the feet. If you decide not to use the rack, you got the rubber feet that you can put on the bottom, and then you got all these screw assortments. So I'm guessing these 4 are for the rack mount ears, and then I don't know what these extra ones are for. If you guys know, let me know. But let's go ahead and just get this mounted on before I slide it onto the rack. Okay, so I'm gonna take these off here. And man, these plastic bags are pretty heavy duty. Yeah, but this is what the rack ear looks like on one side. So it's kind of matched their color. And then I believe these are the bolts that will probably go into it because, yeah, it's a little bit recessed. So when you put it down, it's nice and flat so it doesn't stick out on the side. So these are the bolts for the rack ears, it looks like. So it looks like it's a Phillip. So you'll definitely need to use all 4. Then repeat on this side. All right, after you're done, this is what it should look like when it's installed. 4 screws, then the 2 in the front here would be for these guys here when you put it on the case. So ears are on, and it looks like it's ready to be rack mounted. So this is my network rack, and I got some space down here, so I'm probably gonna put the router right under here under the Cisco switch, because this is actually for my home lab, and this switch here is for my production, um, everything in production, which is what everything's running off my house right now, my home lab, Twitch, and I should probably segregate it, but I only have one rack, but my home lab and my production stuff, but it's all good. I know what's going on, and I'm gonna put the Dream Machine Pro right underneath it, right there. So that's the plan that I want to do right now. So let's go ahead and put it on there. All right, so first thing I need to do is install the cage nuts on this guy here. So Ubiquiti did supply cage nuts for their Dream Machine, but I'm just gonna use these black one. It came with the rack, so I just want to keep it consistent and just use the one that it came with. So it's gonna take up two this whole slot here. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that I have 4 of them on here. Okay, so now that the nuts are in, I could go ahead and slide the Dream Machine underneath here. This guy might be in the way, so this is my home lab, so I'm just going to disconnect it for now, and then I'll probably just run the cable proper after that. Okay, so I have my Dream Machine right here, but before I continue, I'm going to plug in the power. So this is a special power cable that you should be using, since it has a hole here so that you can lock it in. So just take your Dream Machine, put it in the unlock position, plug this in, lock it in, and then you never have to worry about having your power cable come loose. And then I am doing this by myself, so I'm sorry if the angle is bad. So let me prepare some of the screws that I need. So I'm gonna need 4 of these rack screws to get that guy in. And again, I'm doing this by myself here, so bear with me. Alrighty, there you have it. Looks like it's nicely in place now. Nicely plugged, nicely racked in. And this guy here, so right now my network, I don't want to disturb my main network. I'm just going to set it up, play around with it first. So I have this hooked up already to the other port on my router. I'm going to bridge it later, but I'm just going to plug it into this WAN port so it could get some internet there. So in essence, it's going to be like double natted for now, but that's fine. Like I said, I just want to go through the setup process, play around with it, and I might just wipe it afterwards and then deploy it in my live production environment. So right now I'm just setting it up just to boot up, get to know the settings of the machine and play around with it a little bit. But I'll show you guys what the boot up process is and what it looks like on the initial boot up and on the initial setup screen, just to get it up and going so you guys kind of have a feel of how it would be if you guys were to purchase one of these. Okay, so it looks like everything's ready to go now. So I already plugged this in. This is the WAN port that's going from my AT&T router. It's going to supply it internet connection. And I'm going to use one of the ports here to connect to my computer so I could use the web interface, a web browser, to set up the switch. You could set up the switch with a telephone because it does have Bluetooth connectivity, so you could set it up with your cell phone. but I prefer setting it up on a web interface because I think you get, you know, just visually, it's a lot better. You can see everything up front, and I like setting it up on the browser rather than on the cell phone. But it's really up to you. Setting it up on the cell phone is really easy. You just follow the steps. But in this walkthrough, I'm just gonna set it up straight from the web browser. So now it's plugged into my computer and it's plugged into the WAN port. I didn't power it up yet, so now it's time to power this guy up. So I just gotta reach down here and I might whack the phone a little bit because it's kind of in the way. It's plugged in. Now it looks like the system's booting up there, as you can see. So I'll try to get it so that you can see, but yeah, it says it's running. So estimate time, it looks like if you look at the little screen there, it's about 5 minutes. So we'll go ahead and wait for it to boot up. So just give it some time while it's doing its thing. Right now, as you can see, there's network activity on this guy and there's network activity on this guy. But it looks like it's still booting up. So you'll probably want to see this guy more. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it on this screen. See if it could focus. Maybe that's too much. So hopefully you guys can see that. So it looks like it's still loading up. So we'll give it some time there. And I believe with the web interface, it's going to be default 192.168.1.1. So I'm going to wait for that. Okay, so it looks like it booted up, and I know it's kind of hard, it might be hard to read on the screen here, but it says download the app, so you can get it from the Apple Play Store or the other thing, but looks like it's setting up something right now. So it actually sees it, it picked it up on my computer. Okay, so after the initial boot up, it gave you the option to use your cell phone on the screen, as you saw earlier. But I think because it knew that I was connected to a computer, it automatically told me to set up using the computer there. And if you go to my screen, the window actually, I had Chrome open, and going to my window capture, it actually just popped this up. I didn't even have to type in an IP address or anything. It just knew that it just sent something over to my Chrome browser and told me, hey, you got this machine to set up. So that's pretty cool. They made it pretty seamless that way. So yeah, so looks like we are in the setup process now. And I'm gonna go ahead and bring the camera up down there so you can see. So, so this is the setup. It just popped up on my computer because it knew it saw it was connected and it brought me to the setup screen. So it gives you two options here. As you can see, there's a little link on the bottom. If you do have backup on the bottom here, you see it says restore from backup. You could click there and restore it from a backup on your using your Unifi account. But I'm setting up a new machine here. So I'm going to just keep the name UDM Pro Max for now, and I'm going to hit next. And then I actually already have an account with Unifi. There is that option on the bottom, so you don't have to open an account right now. So this tells you you get without the account and what you get with the account. But you know what? This step doesn't give me an option to log in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna hit the back arrow on the top, and then let's go ahead and log in. I'm just gonna log in with my email address here. So and then password, I'm gonna have to look that up. So give me a second here, I forgot. Okay, so it sent an email to my cell phone. So let me pull that up. Okay, so now it's authenticated. So now it's doing some speed tests right now. So I get about 1 gigabit fiber right here. So it looks like it's doing pretty good with the download test. And now it's doing the upload now. And then let's Let's bring the other camera up so you guys can see what's going on. Oh, I lost connection to it. Let me see if I can bring it back up. Okay, so there's the speed test. So yeah, so it's pretty close to what I should be getting. Again, AT&T is my ISP. And then I'm gonna hit next. So now it's setting it up this Unifi account, this system to my Unifi account. So I believe it's going to save all the configuration. So if you ever buy another machine or you need to deploy it somewhere else, you can always restore from a backup. If you ever need to erase this machine or if you upgrade, I'll probably copy all that stuff over. So setup is complete. That's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and go to the dashboard. So now this looks good. So whenever you're inside a network and you get this, you don't have to worry about it. It's a self-signed certificate, so you could just go ahead and go to advanced and proceed to the device. But if you're ever outside in the internet and you see that, be very careful what before you click into something. So right now it looks like it's going to take about 5 minutes for it to do its thing. The console's updating, so if I go back, looks like if you see there, it looks like it's updating. The little screen on there is saying that, so we'll wait for it to update. Okay, so it looks like it's restarting now. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the other view. The console update there. So it's probably just it probably just phoned home and saw that there was an update that needs to be done, and it's just doing it over the internet right now. Whenever you get these devices, you always want to get the latest firmware because there might be exploits or patches that needs to be fixed on a machine. That goes for with every device, your cell phone, your operating system, anything that has a firmware or software. It's always good to update to the latest version so that any exploits could be fixed because these companies regularly patch their devices because there's always some vulnerability that someone will try to exploit and then they catch it and they just try to close it off as soon as possible. So let's take a quick look to see. So you got settings, you got about. So you can see real-time system analysis of CPU and memory. So that's pretty cool. That's the IP addresses of the WAN and LAN. Temperature, there's no disks, no disks on this too. Uptime, hardware, what version, which is up to date, and there's the system again. So it's kind of neat having this little screen here. So that's how to, let's look at settings. So it looks like you can set the brightness, background color, the speed of the fan, it looks like, and the temperature settings. You can shut down. Oops, I don't want to shut down. And go back here. So these are some of the settings. So I'm going to go back, and this is just a network of how I guess how much throughput's going on right now, how many clients are connected, and all your other stuff. So yeah, quite a bit of information on there. And then let's go back to our Windows capture. So it looks like it's still doing something. Maybe I need to refresh it. Okay, I guess after reboot it didn't refresh on my Windows, so I just hit the refresh button, and it looks like I could log in. So right now, it logged me out. So for me to get back in, I got to put in my email and password. Okay, so now I need to get my verification code again. Okay, so now, ba-bam, bada boom, I'm in my system here. So I'm gonna remove that down there since everything's booted up now. So this is the UDM Pro Max interface. First thing I'm gonna do, dark mode. Thank God that they give you that option, because everyone loves dark mode. And then right now, right now, here's a site gateway. You could have a shadow gateway for backup. Obviously, just for my home, I don't need that. This is for all the other stuff. Let me see, looks like you could update a few things here and you could install. We got official release channel, so that's the applications. You got admin and user, that's me right here. You could add users, groups, and identity. This machine does have a lot. I do have a Unifi Wi-Fi device, but it's on my home lab right now. I need to pick up a couple of new ones to run in production. And this is what the weekly backups to the cloud, just in case something happens. And this is like a map of your space that you could create. You got system logs. So this is all the good stuff here for your system logs, any updates, admin activity, backups. You set up push notifications, what you set up on your app. This shows you how much storage. This is pretty much everything about your system here. And your temperature and all that good stuff. Compliance, I don't know, oh, that's just a US compliance. Okay, that was the OS setting of the UDM Pro Max. Now, here's the fun part. Let's go to the network setting, and here's where you get all the information of your network. So as you can see here, looks like it detected some packet loss. Primary internet experience packet loss, please restart the modem. So that was at 134. That was probably me plugging stuff around, so we could disregard that. So here you got the graph of the uptime. You could go by hours, days, week, month, but since this connection is relatively new, there won't be much data on it. Then internet activity, download, upload. So you got that. And this tells you the gateway, how many wired devices, how many access points, how many clients. So obviously only one because I only have one client. And this is my WAN IP, which is right now natted through the AT&T gateway because I'm just messing around with it for now. And you got your Unifi OS and the network version. And this is my AT&T monthly data usage, so 4 gigs so far, and this is the current activity. And this is my current computer that's hooked on. And then I guess these are apps, it looks like, of which apps it detects using data, which is pretty cool. So yeah, and then nothing on wireless yet because I don't have a wireless access point on here. This is a topology. You see you got the internet, AT&T internet to the UDM Pro Max to my current computer right now. This is all unified devices, which only got the UDM Pro Max here. And this is how many clients connected right now. So yeah, very much more detailed than your typical home router. Let's see, so what ports you're using. So this port 9 right now is the AT&T, and this port 1 is my computer right now. And let's see, insights, some more what applications, how much data is being used. So yeah, so this machine logs a lot of stuff, so it's pretty cool. Um, then you got your settings here. Looks like you can set up the network here. You just set up VLANs, which I will probably going doing more of this later on, but I'm just showing you guys what the base setting is on here. You got multicast setting, global switch setting, your subnets, how many leases. This is the internet data. This is the ports, the internet source right here. And this is telling you which is the primary WAN, the secondary, and you could load balance if you have multiple internets. And then you can set up VPN here, security. This is all your unified security, intrusion prevention, port forwarding, traffic, and firewall rules. You got your routing, static routes, DNS, NAT. So yeah, this isn't for the faint of heart. So you definitely gotta know what's going on in here to fully utilize the system. You could just use it out of the box if you're not comfortable with setting up any of this stuff. But yeah, but it's this little guy is full of options. Then you got your activities here, updates, clients, triggers, VPN settings. So yeah, so this is pretty much everything on the networking part here. So as you can see, it's very robust. Um, very Definitely a lot more options than my AT&T gateway. So yeah, so that's pretty much the UDMA Pro setup. So pretty easy, as you can see, out of the box. You just pretty much power it on. You got the option to set it up either on your phone or on your computer. I chose to have it set up on the computer, and it seamlessly saw my computer, popped up the browser, went onto the landing page, and I just logged into my Unifi account, got everything set up, and I'm pretty much good to go. So now, if I go to like the internet, it should work. Yeah, as you can see, and if I do speed test, and let's run the speed test here, and I'm getting really, it's really close to my 1 gigabit service up and down. So yeah, everything out of the box, really easy. You can do a lot more with this machine, but this video. I don't want to let it run too long. This is just pretty much a unboxing, out of the box setup, setting up on the computer. Wham bam boom, you're done. But yeah, we're pretty much done here, guys. So thanks for following along. Like always, like, share, subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Comment below if you want to see any other videos regarding this machine, and I'll try to make it for you guys. And like always, thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out till next time.